If your retirement plan depends on being right about the market, eventually you will be wrong at the worst possible time. I am Lady T in for Citizen T, and today this is how we win. 5 retirement moves you can implement in 2026 that don't rely on prediction, don't assume stability, and don't force you into a one-size-fits-all strategy. Before we go further, a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. Use this as perspective, not instruction, and always do your own research. Now let's reset the conversation. There is a quiet assumption baked into most retirement advice, that if you just pick the right investments, growth, income, whatever's trending, you'll be fine. That assumption breaks people, because different strategies work in different seasons, and no one gets perfect timing across decades. Here's the clear statement. There is no single best retirement strategy, only strategies that are aligned or misaligned with your reality. So we stop chasing answers and start building alignment. And early, we anchor to something that matters, ownership-based pay, OBP. It means your life is not funded by labor alone. You build ownership in assets, whatever form makes sense for you, that can support you over time. Not perfectly, not instantly, but intentionally. That's your lens. Now we move. First shift. Build a system you can execute under stress, not when things are going well. Anyone can follow a plan in good markets. Anyone can stay disciplined when their account is rising. What matters is what you do when the market pulls back, your confidence drops. Something in your life breaks your routine. Action. Create a contribution system that continues regardless of conditions. Automatic, non-negotiable. Because discipline that depends on mood is not discipline. Second shift. Stop trying to predict outcomes, focus on positioning. You don't know which sector will lead, you don't know when the market will turn, you don't know how long any cycle will last, and neither does anyone else, consistently. So instead of betting everything on one idea, you position across outcomes. Some exposure to growth, some exposure to stability, some liquidity, not because you're indecisive, but because uncertainty is real. An honest constraint, you cannot eliminate risk, you cannot eliminate volatility, and you cannot eliminate timing mistakes over a long enough horizon. And yes, some people will get luckier than others, some will start ahead, some will hit fewer disruptions, that's real. And it's not always fair, but opting out is worse, because inaction guarantees erosion. That's the trade. Now anchor a core principle. Risk is not what you feel, it's what you're exposed to. If all your money depends on one outcome, you're high risk. If your plan requires everything to go right, you're high risk. If you need perfect timing to succeed, you're high risk. So you diversify, not just assets, but outcomes. Now we move deeper. Third shift. Build flexibility into your retirement, not rigidity. The ability to shift from growth to income over time, or not, depending on conditions and your needs. So rigid plans fail, flexible ones adapt. That means accessible cash when needed, assets you can rebalance, the ability to shift from growth to income over time or not, depending on conditions and your needs. Most retirement plans don't fail because they chose the wrong assets. They fail because they couldn't adapt when reality changed. Flexibility is strength. Fourth shift, reinforcement matters more than selection. People obsess over what to buy. Almost no one focuses enough on what they do after they buy. Do you add consistently? Do you rebalance? Do you adjust when your life changes? Because even strong assets fail weak behavior, and average assets can succeed with disciplined reinforcement. So you build a loop, contribute, observe, adjust, repeat. No drama, no reaction to headlines, just measured movement. Now let's address something directly. Some of you are behind, you know it, you feel it, maybe you started late. Maybe debt slowed you down, maybe your responsibilities came first, that matters. We acknowledge it without pretending it doesn't exist. But here is also true, the only scenario where you don't recover ground is if you stop moving. Momentum, even late, still compounds. Now the fifth shift, align effort with ownership over time. If all your income comes from labor, your timeline is capped by your ability to work. That's not opinion, that's structure. So over time you redirect, piece by piece, from earned income to owned assets. Whatever those assets are for you, growth, income, blended, it's the ownership that matters. Because ownership creates options, labor alone limits them. And right here, place this where it belongs. The market doesn't need to beat you. You can lose simply by depending on one version of the future. Let that settle. Now bring it together. 3 levers define your retirement: time, ownership, behavior. You don't need perfect picks. You need alignment across those 3. So here's how you act in 2026. You establish a contribution system that continues under stress. You spread exposure across different outcomes instead of betting on one. You reinforce the plan through consistent behavior. You build flexibility so you can adapt as life changes. And you steadily convert labor into ownership. That's it. Clear. Not easy, but stable. And understand this. Structural change, retirement systems, policy, economic balance, moves slowly. Too slowly to rely on for your timeline. You may benefit from change, you may not. So waiting is not a plan, it's exposure. We return to agency. What can you control? Your behavior, your consistency, your willingness to act without certainty. Why does it matter? Because time will pass either way, and only one version of that time compounds in your favor. How do you act? You start where you are, you build steadily, you adjust intelligently, and you don't stop when it gets uncomfortable. If this sharpened your thinking, if it replaced noise with something more useful, like and subscribe. Because this is not about hype. It's about positioning yourself to endure and to win. We are Citizen T Forge the Future. OBP is the way.